Mr. Sharma, congratulations on the launch. We finally have a prize today. To my eyes, the Chetak is the most premium, best finished product Bajaj has ever made. Can you explain why you've gone down this route for your first EV?
Well, because we've been in this business for so long, and we feel that ultimately a customer buys a whole package, and you cannot take style and design out of it. And yes, we had the option of only changing the powertrain from gasoline to electric, but that's not as persuasive an argument as giving something to a customer who she is proud to own. So, style and design were a very, very important component for our proposition right from the beginning, because we want her to feel good about riding this vehicle. And the whole electric argument then is, of course, a separate matter.
In an ideal scenario, what sort of support would you like to see from the government?
I would say that a lot of the performance of the Chetak and or any EV is dependent on the charging ecosystem which will evolve. It's not easy because people live in apartment blocks, high rises. There are societies which are running this, how they will respond to it. There are large offices which people go to. There is no designated parking for motorcycles. And one of the very important obstacles, I think, for the development of EV is this range anxiety which a customer has. That will I get stranded on an electric vehicle? Though we have a range of 90-95 kilometers, and on the average people ride 50-60 kilometers, but still, for that odd day when I have to ride, will I get stranded? And that anxiety can only get mitigated by a charging ecosystem. Having said that, I think a very important expectation would be how the government, in whether it's in cities, municipalities, or at a state level, how they mandate or how they facilitate the development of the charging ecosystem. Secondly, a big component of the cost of the vehicle EV is the battery cost, and how the government at a very macro level can facilitate the and attract world players, global players, and ensure that we get the latest in technology which is driving the costs down. That would be very, very helpful. So bringing down the battery costs to making it attractive for global players to step in, because we have a large market. We are the world's largest two-wheeler market, and which should be attractive to people. So what the government does in facilitating battery costs reduction and charging ecosystems, I would say. I specifically not mentioned incentives. Incentives, yeah, I know you would, because incentives is a good way to start, but I don't think any industry can sustain itself on it. It's a good thing that the government is giving a subsidy, but it's not a everlasting solution. So at some point of time it will go away and EV will have to stand on its own feet, and what will help it stand on its own feet is the battery cost and the range anxiety mitigation.
Let's talk about the start. You're selling these in only 2 cities. Why and how have you decided on those 2?
So the KTM network through which we are selling the Chetak, we are already there in 315 cities with 470 showrooms. So we are in small places like Shivkasi and Katihar also. So theoretically we can put out Chetak in 2 weeks' time in even towns which are less than 1 lakh population. However, as we've just discussed, the performance of this vehicle depends on the charging ecosystem, and therefore we want to go first with a limited play and see that how the various stakeholders respond to it, or what is it that we need to take care of to make this a success. If we go fast and if there is a town, it is not ready to receive it, and we put it out there, it will damage the EV category, it will damage the Chetak for no fault of ours. It is because the ecosystem has not responded. So therefore we were very clear that we must have a limited play in the beginning and do intense observation. Pune we selected because Pune is our home ground, and lots of people can observe it. Our R&D is right there, manufacturing is right there. And Bangalore we selected because we felt that from an automotive point of view, there is a fairly decent segment of early adopters. So we should be able to see a lot of the Chetak on road, and we should be able to understand the experience which a customer is facing. Because that is very is important, because that is what will decide the choice of the next few cities. We are very keen to expand our footprint as fast as the environment will allow us to.
But you still must have some basic ballpark figure you would like to see by the end of 2020.
So it's not a limitation of the network. As I told you, the network is already there. It's how the apartment, for example, how the apartment societies will respond to providing charging facilities for their residents. Will that be a barrier? Will that be a significant barrier, or will we be able to overcome it? That will decide. So we may say that, okay, we will not launch it in Mumbai, we will launch it in Indore, because Indore has less apartment living, Mumbai is only apartment living. I'm just saying, it will depend on the feedback which we collect. So it's not the network issue, it is the ecosystem response which we are going to be monitoring. We have actually not set a target. See, we are ready. We are not manufacturing capacity limited. Like I told you, we've got 470 stores. Right now, actually the issue is that more and more people are calling us from our network and actually asking the question you are asking, that why are you not coming here? We are ready. We have kept this space for Chetak. Please put it over here. So we are actually having a lot of pull from our dealer network for putting it. But we will observe how Pune and Bangalore go, and then choose the next round of cities and enter them. Again observe and then widen our footprint. So no target right now, open mind.
It's an absolute mastercard that you have this network of showrooms and you're really leveraging them. It's KTM, it's Husqvarna, it's now Chetak. How long are we going to keep calling them the KTM dealers?
Yeah, that's a good point. Right now they are changing to be KTM and Husqvarna, and there will be a corner for Chetak. In essence, they are KTM showrooms. These are Husqvarna and all. These are sort of implants. We will continue to call them, but yes, they are getting a Husqvarna identity also. So they are becoming, they are evolving, I would say, to selling, in the same sort of space, very different products. I don't think we will invest in giving the channel a brand new name, because that will mean another investment of a brand. So we will continue to call them by the products which they are largely selling, which would be KTM and Husqvarna.
In another year's time, hopefully there'll be another brand in there. We haven't heard much on the Bajaj-Triumph alliance. There has been a delay in the announcement. What's happening there?
Well, in any case, the Triumph network will be independent. We are not wanting to put a Triumph network in the KTM, Husqvarna, Chetak. So that's a very, very different network. There is a lot of dialogue which has already commenced with Triumph. Both the teams at the back end are in active discussion with each other, and some formal announcements in this we will definitely be making in the next few weeks.
Has there been any development work been going on actual motorcycles while this has been going on?
Of course, before the development, there is a lot of discussion. There is a choice of space and the strategy, etc. There has been an active discussion on this.
So are we looking at the existing Triumph dealer network and expanding upon that, or another separate network when these bikes do become a reality?
There are some Triumph dealers which are already there. The new product launches are still some distance away, because as you know, it takes 2 to 3 years for a new platform to be born, and the go-to-market strategy will be decided closer to the time. It is of no point doing it right now.
So this is probably 2021.
I would not like to comment on those dates, but yeah, it's not immediate. Yeah.
Coming back to 2020 BS6, couple of months away. Bajaj is taking a very interesting approach. You have not committed to fuel injection systems. Electronic carburetors seem to be working for low-end models. Can you talk to me about electronic carburetors, plus and minus points? How does it work for small engines?
Well, I'm not going to go into the details, but yeah, our injection system is going to be different from the conventional fuel injection. There's going to be a lot of electronic around it, and we've been on this for quite some time, and a lot of tests which have been done. And I think it gives, in the end, it has to deliver the emission standards which the government is wanting. It has to deliver these without impairing the customers, the experience the customer is used to. And I think we will be delivering that, and I think we'll be delivering that quite competitively.
When you say competitively, we're talking about the small capacity motorcycles, because I understand 125, 150cc and above, you must go to fuel injection to meet these norms.
Yes, some performance bikes you have to go the conventional fuel injection route, and some you don't have to. In the next 3-4 weeks, it will be, or 4 to 6 weeks, it will be clear which ones will use which kind of technology. But the technology is really, I would say, it's a moot point. The real thing is the benefit to the customer, whether it's in terms of mileage, whether it is in terms of a smooth ride, and of course in terms of the emission standards.
Fantastic. I think I've got lots of stares happening from there.
Okay.
So thank you
Nice
so much for
meeting
your
you,
time.
Rishaad. Thank you very much.